الحمد لله رب العالمين، الصلاة والسلام على رسوله محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين، أما بعد. Discussion will be, inshallah, on the method of performing Hajj. And before we go into the method of performing the steps that we will go through, it might be good to have some things you see first in mind. That the Hajj, it has rukun, which means fard. If there is something that is fard in the Hajj, just like Salah has some things that are fard, some things that are wajib, some things that are sunnah. So same thing in Hajj, there is fard, there is wajib, and there is sunnah. It's necessary to know this because if a wajib is missed or is not done when it's supposed to be done, then there is a penalty for it. But if a sunnah is missed, there is no penalty. So we need to know the difference between the wajib and sunnah and fard. There is one fard of the Hajj that if a person misses that fard, then he doesn't have any Hajj. The Hajj is not valid. He will have to repeat that Hajj next year. First, the rukun of Hajj, the fard of Hajj, there are two fards. One is wuquf of Arafah, that is the 9th of the Hajj, the day before the 10th, the day before Yom al-Nahar, or the day before Eid, that is the 9th of the Hajj. That's the day when the Hujjaj, they stay in Arafah. So that is fard. And the wuquf of Arafah can be just for 1 hour. If the person didn't stay there for at least an hour, he doesn't have any Hajj. The second fard of Hajj is the tawaf after wuquf of Arafah, which is known as tawaf al-ziyarah. So tawaf after wuquf of Arafah, the 7 rounds of tawaf, this is fard in Hajj. And it has to be after the wuquf of Arafah. The only difference between these two is that if a person misses tawaf al-ziyarah, he has missed the fard. He can give a penalty for that. But for Arafah, for missing the standing in Arafah, and the time for that is from the time of Zawal, after Zawal of the 9th of the Hijjah, and it goes all the way till before the entering of Fajr the next day. Which means that if he didn't get any time during the day, but he happened to reach there in the night, that's the time when people go to Muzdalifah. But if he gets even a time during the night and he stands in Arafah for a little while, his Hajj is okay. Because some people, they get into a situation, they miss their flight, they happen to reach late. Some people traveling, they have problems. It happens that people, they end up reaching Arafah very late. They come after sunset, and that's when the Hujjaj, they leave Arafah. So many people, because of ignorance, they think like, I miss my Arafah. Their Arafah is still remaining for them. They have time until the Fajr of the next day. Once the Fajr time comes in, then they have missed it. So these are the two fards. Wajibat of Hajj. You can make a note of these, will be very good. The wajibat in Hajj.
So there are two
fards.
Two fards.
Two fards of Hajj.
Okay, one is you stay in the
Arafah, which is the main, and Hajj Arafah. And the second is tawaf al-ziyarah. That is a tawaf that is done after wuquf of Arafah. And it's done on the 10th. You can do any 3 days, 10, 11, 12, inshallah, we'll come to that. Okay. And once you do it within those 3 days, you are performed the tawaf. The wajibat of Hajj. Of course, when it's the ihram, to put on your ihram for Hajj, this is wajib. You cannot perform Hajj without ihram. After wukuf of Arafah to have wukuf of Muzdalifah. The people, they go there from the sunnah is to go after sunset from the day of Arafah. After sunset, you go to Muzdalifah, spend the whole night over there. Right? When you go to the session, come and say what you have to do, what you don't. But must time is meaning that within that time, at least in that time, you should have stand there for a little while. Then it will be considered that you have completed the wukuf of Muzdalifah. That is from the time Fajr comes in until before sunrise. So if you get some time between Fajr and before sunrise, you get to stand in Muzdalifah for a moment, then your wukuf of Muzdalifah has taken place. So if a person spends the night there, but before Fajr, he happens to be from there, his Muzdalifah wukuf is completed. His completion will be after the coming in of Fajr. Therefore, it is necessary to make Fajr Salah in Muzdalifah. And before sunrise, you will need to go to Mina to go to Belt al-Jamarat. So this wukuf of Muzdalifah, even if it is for a short period, from Fajr until before the sunrise. This short period is the must time. So this is wajib. Tawaf ziyarah, like we said, it is fun. But for it to take place within the 3 days, Yawm al-Nahar, which is the 10th, 11th, and the 12th, before sunset of the 12th, this Tawaf ziyarah should take place. Now, so it is wajib for it to take place within these 3 days. The Tawaf itself, it is fard, but for it to take place within these 3 days, this is wajib. Which means if a person, he misses these 3 days, he performs it, but he performs it after missing these 3 days, then he has to give a penalty for it. Then after Tawaf, there is Sa'i between Safa and Marwa, the going back and forth between Safa and Marwa. This is called Sa'i. So the Sa'i is also wajib. Another thing that is wajib is Tawaf al-Qudum or Tawaf al-Sadr. No, Tawaf al-Wada'. Tawaf al-Wada'. Tawaf al-Wada' is that Tawaf that a person before he leaves Makkah to go home, or before he leaves Makkah to go to Medina, and from Medina he is intending to go straight from there to Jeddah or fly back home. Meaning that before he leaves Makkah, before he leaves it forever, meaning in this journey, to make one tawaf before that. For those who don't belong to Makkah, this tawaf is wajib. But the people who live in Makkah, for them this tawaf is not wajib. This is called Tawaf al-Wada'. So Tawaf al-Wada' for the Haji is wajib. But for someone who's going for Umrah, for example, right? For him to do Tawaf al-Wada' is sunnah, is not wajib. So if he doesn't get to do Tawaf, he doesn't have to give any penalty. But for a person who's going for Hajj, this Tawaf al-Wada' is wajib, must do. So there is 2 tawafs a person has to do after performing the Af'al of Hajj. One is Tawaf al-Ziyarah, which is the first. Then there is Tawaf al-Wada', which is also wajib. Now in between, if he does any kind of tawaf, those are all sunnah. But at least he must do tawaf. So some people, they suggest that do tawaf al-Sadr first, do tawaf al-Wada' first, because just in case you don't get a chance, or maybe you might get very tired you're able to do it now, you should do that first. Somebody would suggest that.
After 10, tawaf without.
Yeah,
After 10.
that will be after performing tawaf ziyarah. You should perform it before that because that tawaf, it comes in the end.
Marana, the
तवाफ़ ज़ियारत जो आप बात कर रहे हैं तवाफ़ विदा, ये तो अक्सर लोग आप वाजिब कह रहे हैं, वो तो कह रहे हैं कि भाई आप जो एक कर ले तो आप अराफात के बाद दैट्स इनफ, क्योंकि इतना रश होता है। ये दूसरी जो आप तवाफ़ विदा की बात कर रहे हैं, आप दो तवाफ़ की बात कर रहे हैं और ये आप वाजिब कह रहे हैं, तो वहाँ तो अक्सर जितने लोग हैं वो वापस जा रहे हैं और वो तो नहीं है, तो इसको ज़रा क्लियरिफाई कर दें।
Tawaf ziyarah, this is fard in Hajj. So a person must perform this tawaf. And tawaf al-wada', according to Imam Abu Hanifa, and I don't know the other A'immah, but according to Imam Abu Hanifa, the tawaf al-wada' for the Hajj, it is for غير أهل Makkah, for the Afaqi, which means the person who doesn't come from Makkah. He's from out of Makkah, whether he's from Medina or he's from Jeddah, from anywhere. For him, tawaf al-wada' it is wajib. Wajib means that he must do it. If he doesn't do it, if there is excuse, for example, there's too much of rush and he's very tired, he's exhausted, he can't do it, okay, then pay the penalty. Pay penalty for that. So the thing is that the tawaf, it is wajib, it will still remain wajib even under these conditions.
so Marana,
अगर इंटेंशन हम कर लें कि मैं बहुत तवाफ़ विदा और तवाफ़ ज़ियारत दोनों दिस इंटेंशन, then we do that.
No, it has to be performed separately. Because you see, you cannot combine a fard and wajib, you can combine a nafil and wajib. Suppose you're doing a nafil tawaf, you say, okay, let me make intention of tawaf al-wada' here, just in case if I don't get chance tomorrow. Tomorrow might be my last day, so let me just make intention of tawaf al-wada' just in case. Then he performs it, and if tomorrow he gets more chance, he makes another tawaf.
Marana, after the tawaf ziyarah, you just to shave your head and take out your ihram, that means Hajj is complete.
Hajj is complete.
So if the Hajj is complete, then the Wida is after that.
Yeah, the tawaf al-wada', it goes with the name wada'. That's when you're leaving.
वापसी पे आना है वो बात विदा जब हम जैसे हम करते हैं बार बार
Also, you said what Sahih is wajib.
Sahih is wajib.
Sahih for the
तवाफ विदा
after
Tawaf
tawaf
al-ziyarah.
after tawaf ziyarah, and that Sahih is going to be in regular clothes.
Yeah, that can be even tawaf al-ziyarah can be in regular clothes.
Yes. Yeah, the tawaf ziyarah is going to be before you shave. I mean, it's going to be after you shave the head.
Yeah, it's not necessary.
Right.
It's not necessary, but it's permissible. Because the sequence, it doesn't do it. Over there, you will go to Mina, you will throw the jamrah, the last jamrah, 7 stones, then you will go and do the rah for Pani, then you will go and shave it. So suppose he decides to, okay, let me go straight to Makkah, go make my tawaf, then do my slaughtering, for example, or do slaughtering, then go to Makkah and do the whole tawaf and then shave. It's all permissible.
It's all permissible.
Yeah, it's all permissible.
Should that be not?
But for convenience sake, it is good to, because, when you're coming on that day, so we're going to the step now. But the thing is, on that day, a person is really exhausted. From Arafah, from Mina, if he's going through all the steps, Mina, then Arafah, then standing in Muzdalifah, and from there to Mina, and then that walking that he has to do. Suppose from there he decides to go to Makkah. Most of the time a person just has to do that walking. It's a very long walk. And the person gets really tired because he's not walking regularly. He's going through a lot of things before that, and he's going through a lot of hardships. I happen to go for walking. from Mina going all the way to Makkah to the Haram and all that. And I can tell you that it's very tired. Then when I went for the tawaf, I've been over there to do the tawaf and we were very tired. So we decided that let us go and do the Qurbani in one of the slaughterhouses because we wanted to make sure that our slaughter takes place. Because it's also another wajib thing that the shaving should take place after you slaughter the animal. Now, when you ask these people who are not so particular, a lot of these group leaders, they say, yeah, everything is okay. And some people, they say, on this day, there's no problem to bring forward and do after, they quote the hadith for that also. But that's not the meaning of the hadith.
But this time he told us that this is not in the control of person, it is in control of the government of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
They have to do the Qurbani, right? But but nobody knows when this Qurbani is done.
Yeah.
So how?
Some place we can pick, we can
No,
that's it.
It all depends on the group leader. The group leader, you will have idea. Those who arrange everything, the common person is hard for them to find out. But those who arrange, they know that our slaughtering is taking place soon. So sometimes they arrange. Those who are very particular, I have seen a few leader groups, they're very particular. They do all the arrangements themselves. They contact their person, they make sure that the slaughter, they'll say, okay, your slaughtering is going to be done on the 10th, but that's going to be between Dhuhr and Asr. For example, we're going to start doing it from Dhuhr time. Before that, we have other people's orders, right? But what did I do? I'm not saying that you should do that because I'm going to be putting you in trouble. But because I had a little idea, so I did it on my own. Me and one other brother, we went to a slaughterhouse, a different slaughterhouse in Makkah City. And we did our slaughter with our own hands. And we went in our ihram, because I wanted to do it properly. So we slaughtered, and we went and we shaved, and then we looked off. But in this case, if you don't know about your leader group and you don't know if you're 100%, because this thing is wajib, right? To do it in this sequence is also wajib. So if a person is not sure, the ihtiyat, the best thing to do is go for your shaving, after your stoning, do your shaving, then just give one dump. Give a penalty, right? And penalty is what is slaughtering of another sheep. And generally is like between 100 and 150 US dollars. That's a standard kind of price over there. And it's very easy to do that. You just go to some of those banks over there and you tell them that you have to give them. Because everyone is doing them for different things.
What the banks is that?
There are many banks around there who accept this dump.
They do it?
So they do it, yeah. Dump, it doesn't have to be within those 3 days. It can be any time, but it has to be done at the haram. So if you give it to them, they take it and they perform that dump. So that's one way.
But Maulana Sahib, since you told me for $150 I can make mistake. No, I know I can make mistake. Never intentionally do the mistake. You gave me privileges to do this, extend this. I'll pay $150, do it later, and do whatever I want. I'm just saying I should at least try myself. If I cannot do it, then I should have this. I'm just trying to explain.
But the thing with this, why I'm saying, because from little experience that I had, and from what I hear from many people, it's very difficult to find out if your slaughter took place or not. It's very difficult. They're slaughtering for 3, 4, 5 million. How many sheep, how many camels there, and they have the list of all these people. They're intending for everyone, But sometimes it's very difficult. They will say, yeah, yours is done. Like our group is said, By the time of 9, 10 o'clock, they said, yeah, our Quran was performed. And where did they get their information? I don't know. Because they were doing so many things before that. No problem, we said we can't trust them.
So Maulana,
See?
I'm sorry मैं आपको यहाँ कट कर रहा हूँ कि I've been through this. It's in my heart since that Hajj. I don't know my Qurbani is done or not. I can still do the dam or not.
You can say yes. If you remember after some years, for example, you made a mistake, you can still give the dam, yeah.
Because
But
I
the dam should be given over there. Right?
because I told him to do the Qurbani when they took the money from you, you do your Qurbani. That's what I told him 2 days before. I said you have to do the Qurbani because you don't want to leave anything behind.
When you give dam of previous, like we are going now, I don't know how much mistake I made it. But for the previous, when I give a dam here, there, this
Yeah,
time,
yeah, you can. Give it the anytime, yeah.
What is dam?
Dam
One Qurban.
Penalty.
Penalty is one Qurban.
right?
Let's say dam is wajib, if they go to slaughter, sheep or goat.
बफलो वाला मौलाना साहब थे उन्होंने अरेंज किया था उन्होंने कहा इतनी कुर्बानी हमने उसको दिया तो उसने हमारा कर दी
I'm just saying, I'm sorry. I'm trying to say because you guys going, it's a lifetime opportunity. You might not have a chance after that. I used to do Qurbani here because what I mean, I used to have a store. 100 people, I could not handle 100 people to do the Qurbani right away. I'm just telling you guys. Here. There is a lot of people there, so it's impossible. Everybody is Qurbani is being done accordingly. It's impossible. You ask any butcher here, 100 people, I could not handle it. When the store बेच दिया Allah shukar है बेच दिया. But honestly, you cannot do it.
No, we have a group. We go to Qurbani. Maulana Ibrahim or Buffalo. They arrange a group with people together. They ask me maybe 50, 20 people. They will ask him. They arrange himself. They go over there the Qurbani.
I think they have the management here.
Yeah.
They have the management there. Do the things, but
Like I said before, all of this has some people, group leaders have experience, have connection.
Yeah.
Like one particular brother from New Jersey, he was running a whole group and I met him over there. So I told him, what are you doing for Qurbani? I told him, can I take a part? He said, no, it's difficult because everything has been arranged. So I'm telling you things that I did personally and I have a little understanding. So he told me that he made arrangement with some Burmese who live over there. And he made arrangement with them to slaughter so many amounts of camels to make it, they like camel meat.
Kilo to Mina.
So what they did,
They go
they slaughtered all of that on the first day. They arranged the time. It's going to be between here and here, and they're going to make sure it gets done. And they had connection. So it says as soon as they finish with the last one, you're going to give them a call and say that we finished. And then it's going to tell us all proof that, okay, now we can move like Hajj. You see what I'm saying? So it depends on the group leader. I don't know who is your group leader. So you have to check with the group leader. And if he's a general group leader, you don't want to get into any argument because at this occasion, when you
You're
start
going to do right
asking
now.
these
You have to do the
questions,
Qurbani.
You know?
Yeah, I know. You do the Qurbani.
Okay.
Okay?
if you
I know
ask
he's
these,
group leader.
if we can pay attention a little bit, inshallah, we will try to get this whole thing.
ऐसे ना कर ले. Mulana sahab, let's finish Mulana sahab and then we do question and answer.
We'll not finish the subject if we
I'm sorry.
keep on cutting off in between.
Yeah.
Also, those who are doing the Hajj, they're going to miss the sequence.
Yes.
There's too much of talking between. So let us minimize only what is necessary. If we have something is not clear, we can ask. But let us try to finish the step.
जी जी.
I still didn't finish the wajib. And I still have to get into the steps of Hajj, and that's a long process.
Okay.
Because we have Umrah, I have to explain the whole of Umrah, then the whole of Hajj is a long thing. It's a journey of so many days, we have to do it in
30
half hour is not so possible. So what I'm saying is that the leader, you will have to see what kind of leader. If he is this kind of leader who is very particular, alhamdulillah, you can trust him, mashallah. If not, then it's better to be safe. Do what you have to do, and if you think like it doesn't look so 100%, then just be done. finish your tawaf or ziyarah, whatever, you go within, you will become, or you finish with everything of Hajj. Just go to one of those things who accept. You have to go and shop around, ask around, where can I give my dummy? And everything, people, it is very common there. And there's many, many things around the haram. Every year is changing, I don't know what they tore down. But you will find many things around. So you just go to them and say, do you take them? They'll say yes. So then they have signs. And if they take it, you just give it, inshallah. So we said about the wajibat of Hajj. After every tawaf that you perform, to make 2 rakats of salat is also wajib. So you should not forget to make 2 rakats of salat after any tawaf you perform. Whether it's a tawaf of umrah, tawaf of ziyarah, is tawaf al-wada', is a nafil tawaf, any kind of tawaf, you should always perform 2 rakats.
After this tawaf.
After tawaf. If you finish 7 rounds to make 2 rakats of niyat is rak'atayn of tawaf, this is wajib. And it doesn't have to be in a particular place, it can be anywhere in the haram. We will make niyat of 2 rakats of tawaf.
Okay.
This is 2 rakats of tawaf.
तो कंप्लीट कर लेंगे फिर बाद में करते हैं
Then the wajib to throw the stones at the jamarat, the 3 jamarat during the ayyam al-nahr, which is the 10th, 11th and 12th. These are known as ayyam al-nahr because these are the 3 days that we do slaughtering, right? So the 3 days of Qurbani, we have to throw those 3 jamarat. The first day you're only going to throw 1 of them, the last one. And the other 2 days you will do 3 of them. So this is wajib. Which means that if you leave out the whole jamarat, there are 3 of them, and you have to throw 7 into each. So if you leave out any of those jamarat, or you leave out 1 stone also from 1 of them, in any case you have to pay a penalty. So throwing 7 is wajib, and throwing the 3 of those pillars is also wajib. Okay? So this is the wajib. If a person he cannot do it, he's too weak to do it, he's very sick, he can do tawqeel, he can appoint someone on his behalf, and the person throws a stone on his head. He does his first, and then he does for that person, make intention and do it for him. And if we have this situation, there's a lot of old people, sickly people, some people, they get sick over there. They become so sick that they're unable to go there. Now, there is one thing that is not an excuse. People think it's an excuse. Oh, I have to do that long walking, I'm going to get very tired. You are there to get tired. The journey is all about getting tired. It's about getting dirty and getting tired, getting exhausted. That's the whole journey. The journey is all about that. So getting tired is not an excuse. Even if your leg is painful, you still have to go. Looking at the rewards and telling a person, you will enjoy that pain. You will enjoy that tiredness. Anyhow, that's the spiritual aspect. After
from the Muzalfa, the stone.
You can take the stone from anywhere, but it's good to take from Muzdalifah. And the size of those stones, we can discuss that. That it should be small stones, not too small and not too big. Basically, the size of a chana. The size of the chana is chickpea. It should be within that, and it should be tahir. And all of this stuff is all mustahab and sunnah. It's not wajib. Wajib is just we throw 7 stones. Now it can be big stones, your wajib is performed. The 2 small stones is also performed. But the sunnah is that it be a middle size. And it should be thrown with the finger. And It should be thrown separately, you know. You take the 7 to get out of the thing so fast, you just throw all of them, no. Then the whole thing is considered one penalty. So you have to throw 7 separately.
One by one.
One by one.
Stone has to go hit the pillar. Should be hit the pillar.
Yeah, now, okay, I will talk about that pillar. Now we'll do that through the steps. Okay. See, the modification of those pillars when I went there to see it was very stringent because when we lived over there, we saw something different. The pillar used to be a very small pillar, size of a pillar. It used to be that. It used to even have bridges also, they had 1 or 2 bridges, whatever. But now, because of the rush and the stamping that takes on over there, every year there have been people dying at these Jamaat. You know, you would have been stamped over. So they did modification to make many floors. Plus those pillars, they built it in a long, like an X-ray, if you want to say.
Wow.
Long, right? I would suggest that try to throw the middle part, you know, around the middle part. But anyhow, because why did they make it long? Because the masala is that within that circle that they had before, if the stone it doesn't hit the pillar, people used to stamp over one another because they wanted to hit that pillar. And it doesn't need to touch that pillar. It needs to fall from somewhere within that vicinity of the pillar. So when they measured that whole thing, they said, okay, there is build a whole long one, and once that stone hits around that one, your run is performed. Because if the stone hits out of that, then the running is not considered. So that's the hikmah that they came up with. But still, I will try to, as much as possible, to hit the center part. You know? It's not necessary if you don't get a chance over there. And over there, you will notice when you're going over there, when you're throwing, the stones are just flying like bullets behind you. So you have to be careful, you know. So you don't have to be exactly all the time. So once you're throwing it within that pillar area, and it's touching the pillar, alhamdulillah, it's okay. After coming out of Ihram, to come out of Ihram, you have to do shaving of the hair or trimming, right? This is also wajib. Whether you do that after your Umrah, or you do that after finishing from Hajj, that you finish your Jamrat on the 10th of the Hijjah, and you have to shave your that shaving or that trimming of the hair. This is considered wajib, and until you don't do that, you will not come out of the state of Ihram. Follow? So it means that if you, for example, you don't shave, and you decide to take off your clothes and take a shower and put on colored clothes, sewn clothes, right? You will have to pay penalty for all of that. If using soap and it's smelling as a good smelling, then you have to pay penalty separately for that. If you're trimming before you shave, you have to pay a separate penalty for that one. So whatever mahdoom, whatever thing is permissible in ihram, if you do that before shaving, you'll have to pay all those penalties. So why you go through all of that? First finish the wajib and then you can do everything. You cover your hair, you cover your head, you cover your face. In the state of ihram, you have to pay penalties for these things. To be tahir from every kind of hadath, meaning to perform tawaf and sa'i in the state of tahara. This is also wajib. To perform tawaf and sa'i in the state of wudu is also wajib. So sometimes it happens in the middle of tawaf, in the middle of sa'i. Other times maybe in sa'i, because when you finish with tawaf, there's a lot of time. When you go to sa'i, maybe half of the day is already done. you have to go to the bathroom, or you happen to pass wind, these things can happen, right? You have to renew your wudu. So you just have to renew your wudu and continue from where your wudu broke or from where you stopped. So if you stop at a particular post or something, then you remember the post or the location where you are. Go make your wudu, come back on that same post and continue. You don't have to repeat the whole thing. You just continue from where you stop. Now the rest of the things that we will do through the steps is all sunnah. So maybe we don't need to go through all the sunnahs, right? We just know what things are wajib, and the rest, whatever we have to do during the Umrah, during the Hajj, the whole journey of Makkah, the rest is all sunnah. These are the main, basically, wajibat of Hajj. So the steps, inshallah, we'll go through. Generally, when we're going, we intend to go for Umrah and Hajj, right? So there is two things, I would say maybe three. There is three types of Hajj. One is called Ifrad, that a person, he makes intention of only Hajj and puts on his ihram, right? You intend, because when you're putting your ihram on, you must make intention. If you don't do intention, you don't have ihram. Ihram is not just wearing of the cloth, it's really the intention, which means that you can put on your ihram, don't make intention, and you can do everything. You can put on scent, because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what the sunnah was, when he took a bath, he put on his ihram and then he put scent on. And it comes that Aisha narrated that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam put so much of itr that mist was running down from the middle part of his ear. It was coming down on his forehead, so much of scent he has put on. So it is sunnah to use scent. But when you do this before you make intention and talbiyah. So ihram is not just putting on the ihram, but it's the intention. You can put on ihram, you can put on from here and spend a whole day with the ihram. But you make intention, and from where you make intention, that is when your ihram actually begins. So we should always remember when putting on ihram that my ihram begins when I intend. So if you make intention of what you're putting on, your ihram has already begun. You have to be careful from there. So anyhow, the sequence is the sunnah method is what is to take a shower. If you leave from here and you intend to go straight for Umrah. Some people, they go first to Medina, like how we did. Then from there they go, and they go from Medina to go to Makkah. But if you're going from here to Jeddah or to whatever place, but you intend to go first from Makkah and perform the Umrah, sunnah is before the miqat comes. Let me explain what is miqat. There is three things. One is Masjid al-Haram, and when you go over there, you will see they also call that Haram. Over there, when you see Haram, al-Haram, they really mean Masjid al-Haram, the masjid itself. Masjid al-Haram, it is in a vicinity that is known as Al-Haram, and that is the old city of Makkah. There is a difference between Masjid al-Haram and the Haram, the Shari Haram. What is known as Haram over there, by the people, it is really the masjid. They will say Makkah is Makkah. Many people don't know that Haram, it means the whole of Makkah. So they call the Masjid Haram, but really the ulama and what we know in Sharia, Haram is the whole of the boundary of Makkah. So there is Masjid al-Haram, and there is the Haram of Makkah, and there is borders for it. We need to know this thing because it's very important. Then there is the boundaries of the miqat. The miqat is wider, it's a wider area out of Makkah. And it goes all the way close to Medina actually, so far. And it goes so far to Jeddah. So there is the boundaries of the miqat. The ruling is, if you're coming, you intend to enter into Makkah, and you're coming from out of the miqat, which is that wider boundary, and Jeddah is within that miqat. Jeddah is not out, it's inside of the miqat. Which means that if you're landing in Jeddah, you must have your ihram on before you enter the miqat. This is the ruling. That's why from Medina, when they go to Makkah, they stop at the miqat, right? Abiyar Ali, they stop over there, they get down, people make 2 rak'ahs, they put on the ihram. And that is out of that is at the boundary of the miqat. And the miqat is not really round, it is in a straight shape. Some places is wider, some places narrow, whatever. But there is boundaries that Rasulullah has set. So drawing a line between these 5 miqats around Medina, around Makkah. Before entering, if you're coming from out of the miqat, and Medina is out of the miqat, Jeddah is in the miqat. So if you're coming from out of the miqat, you must enter the miqat in the state of ihram. This is wajib. If you don't do that and you go without ihram, you'll have to give done. You have to pay a penalty. So generally, when you're going by plane, I'm sure all of the airlines will have this, I think is a requirement of Saudi, that whoever is landing over there, they have to announce that at so-and-so time, half an hour from now, 1 hour from now, the miqat will come. You will always get that. Most airlines will do that. I didn't experience a lot of airlines, just a few. But I'm sure all of them, you go by Saudi or PI or anything, they all announce to say that the miqat is going to come in a half hour. So they give you time that you can prepare yourself, put your ihram on, make your intention, make the 2 rak'ahs.
Can you do it from Kennedy Airport?
You can do, yeah. And the best is to do it from your home, because Rasulullah he did it from Medina. But anyhow, it's permissible, yeah. You can do it from your home. You can do it from the airport over there, is all permissible. The thing is that once you put on your ihram, and then now you have to be very careful the whole journey. So if you're willing to do that, mashallah, that's the best thing. But sometimes, some airlines, you might have a little difficulty in making the 2 rak'ahs. It all depends, you know. So the best thing, maybe I would say, my suggestion would be that if you go straight to Jeddah, take a bath from here, from your home, do everything with the sunnah, clip your nails, trim your mustache, put on scent, whatever, and clean yourself. And don't put on your ihram as yet. Wait for the time that it gets close. If you want to put on your ihram, perfect, mashallah. Maybe wait for the 2 rak'ahs and everything when you reach close to the miqat when they announce it. And if you're going through some Muslim Airways, inshallah, hopefully it's Saudi, mashallah, most of the Saudi airlines in the back, they have a room, especially designated for making salah. Inshallah, you won't have a problem. So the sunnah is that after you put on your ihram, to perform 2 rak'ahs of ihram, this is sunnah. And after making the 2 rak'ahs, you make intention of Umrah and Hajj. Now the thing is, if you are intending to do Umrah, when you come out of your ihram, you mustn't make intention of Hajj there. You intend to go for Hajj, this journey is for Hajj, but you're putting this ihram on only for Umrah. If you make a mistake and you make intention of Hajj, you know what will happen? You will have to remain in this ihram or in that state until you finish your Hajj. Right? So if you intend to come out of ihram after you finish your Umrah, just make intention of Umrah. Allahumma inni uridu al-Umrah فتقبلها مني ويسرها أو فيسرها لي وتقبلها مني. Just make intention of only Umrah. Allahumma inni uridu al-Umrata فيسرها لي وتقبلها مني. But if you want to do Qiran, this is the second type of Hajj, that you put on Ihram for Umrah and Hajj. This is the most virtuous one because there is more hardship in it. You're going to stay in a state of Ihram until you finish your Hajj. And according to many, that Rasulullah when he did his Hajj, he actually did the Hajj of Qiran. Some they argue, they said no, it was Tamattu'. Tamattu' is the third type of Hajj, is that you go, you perform Umrah first, come out of Ihram, and then put on a new Ihram and go for Hajj. But anyhow, if you want to do the most virtuous one, and you're willing to do it, you know that you can handle it, then do it. Otherwise, it's better to do Tamattu'. If you have the ability, mashallah, you can do is more virtuous, because the more difficulty, the more hardship is there, the more the reward in this Hajj. Looking for the easy ways and the concessions to run away from the difficulty, this is not recommended. And yes, and you can do this, you can do that, yeah, take the easy one. But to run away from the difficulty, this is not, you see, something of Hajj. So after making intention, that officially your ihram now it begins when you do talbiyah. The talbiyah is to say labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika laka labbaik, inna alhamda wa ni'ma laka wal mulk la sharika lak. This talbiyah, it is basically means that, oh Allah, I am present. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik, oh Allah, I am present, I am present. Right? Once you do talbiyah, now you're in the state of ihram. Now this talbiyah, this is basically the dhikr of your ihram. You will do talbiyah everywhere, all the time, as much as possible. Changing every situation, you should be doing talbiyah. Getting on the bus, talbiyah. Getting on the plane, talbiyah. Starts moving, talbiyah. Going up, talbiyah. Going down, talbiyah. Getting off, talbiyah. Moving station, moving every position and every little while, we should be doing talbiyah. There is no such thing that we must do talbiyah in a group. You see, when one person starts, everybody reading together. You don't have to be doing it together. That's not sunnah. People think that, oh, we should be doing it. But if no one is doing it, then one person will stand up and do it and make sure the whole group does it. You don't have to do it because it doesn't come in heaven. But there's no harm if they're doing it and you do it with them. But don't only do talbiyah when they do it. You do your own talbiyah. And it should be loud.
What about this is afzal talbiyah, or if you can recite Quran, or we can make other zikr?
We can do recite Quran and everything, but talbiyah is afdal all the time. To do more talbiyah than anything else. This is the dhikr of our ihram. But definitely during that we can read Quran. But suppose every 10 minutes you do talbiyah, mashallah, you're engaged in dhikr. The talbiyah is the most afdal, is the sunnah. Because this is a dhikr that you will not do anywhere else in the world. Either on the day of Laylatul Qadr or no Ramadan. This is only when you're in the state of ihram.
What is the minimum requirement of the talbiyah? Like
Talbiyah is sunnah. So you can do any amount. You can say once, stay quiet, say a few times, stay quiet, then say a few times. You can say it once, stay quiet. After the one, you say once. The women, they should say the talbiyah silently. Women, they should say it silent, and men should say it loud. But if you're tired, and in between you're saying talbiyah just by your lips, that's also okay. But try as much as possible to say it, that at least you can hear yourself. It doesn't have to be so loud. If you just can hear yourself is enough. So this is one thing to do, maximum talbiyah as possible. This is the thing that a person should always engage in. If you always remember to do talbiyah, inshallah, that will save you from talking of worldly things. And once you become in a state of ihram, it's a very sacred condition we are in. In this condition, we should avoid all worldly things. Talking about worldly things. Getting into sin, that's way out of the question. Backbiting. Cursing someone, you know. And in this state, a person, it's very easy for him to lose his temper. We have seen people losing temper. A person is going through a sacrifice, and every little thing irritates him. So we have to be very careful. This is the place where Allah is testing our patience. If we lose our patience, we actually lose the whole reward of this Hajj. This sacred journey that we're going through, we're going to achieve something. Instead of achieving it, we're losing the whole thing. So we have to practice patience at every step. The thing that we should remember through this whole journey is to be patient, to try to soften the anger. You don't like so many things. You don't have to correct anyone over there. You end up advising someone, do it this way, you end up arguing with them. If you know the person, you think that maybe explain to him, you will do the right thing. If it will end up into argument, the person who gets into argument, even if it's religious argument, he loses his own reward of Hajj. So we should avoid any kind of contradiction. And when we were there, we have seen so many things going wrong around us, but we did have to do our right thing, close our eyes. It depends on the group that you're at. Sometimes a group, they're doing all sorts of wrong things. You just have to just do your right thing and just, avoid. You try to correct someone or advising, he's maybe already angry, he's already, worked up because of the hardship. So anyhow, when you reach over there, the mustahab and the sunnah is when entering Makkah also to take a fresh bath. So maybe the best thing is that wherever your hotel, wherever you're going to be staying, generally the bus will take you there. You get down. The best thing is don't rush to go to the haram. So you say, the first thing I'm going to do my thing. You're supposed to go over there and be fresh also. The ibadah, every ibadah is required to do it in a fresh state. To do it with enjoyment. So it means that even if you're exhausted, take a little rest. It's better to do this ibadah properly with fresh mind than do it exhausted and you're getting angry with someone who's just touching you and tawaf. You're losing everything, you see. So if you're very tired over there, there's no harm in taking a rest. You don't have to rush to the haram. You can take a rest. Take a shower. Avoid using any kind of soap or shampoo that has any scent in it. And they have especially designed soaps that have no scent. You can use them. Otherwise, just taking a fresh shower. And you can wear the same ihram, you can wear another ihram, it doesn't matter. You can change your ihram, it doesn't make any difference. You don't have to wear the same cloth, you can wear different because you are in the state of ihram. So in other words, in the state of ihram, you can take as much shower as you wish. There is no restriction on taking a shower. So when you reach the haram now, after preparing yourself, you will continue to do talbiyah, right? And you will do talbiyah until you see until your gaze falls onto the Kaaba. When you see when you sight the Kaaba, you will stop your talbiyah. right? As if you were doing your Umrah, right? As soon as you see the Kaaba, you will say, Allahu Akbar. And over there you will make dua. Dua is accepted. It comes that the first time he sees the Kaaba in that journey, the first time his gaze falls on the Kaaba, he makes a dua, the dua is accepted. And every journey that you perform and you see it the first time you say the Kaaba, whatever dua you make, the dua is accepted. So my teacher, he said, when I was going for Umrah the first time, he said that when you first see the Kaaba, you say, oh Allah, whatever du'as I make in this journey, accept those du'as. So mashallah, Allah will accept that. I made sure I did that. So maybe you can also do the same thing if you remember. The first thing that you will begin when you enter into the Haram, to Masjid al-Haram, the first thing you begin is Tawaf. There is no Salah. The tahiyya of Masjid al-Haram is Tawaf. Some people say no, first is Salat and then no, there's no Salah there. If you want to make Salah, it's permissible. But the tahiyya of Masjid al-Haram is to do Tawaf of the Kaaba. We will head straight to where the black stone place is, right? Because that's where it begins from.
Green light.
Huh?
There is a green light.
That green light, yeah, that green light.
Now
over
the
there.
green light.
Or that green light, I think is that to show where the black stone
Yeah,
is?
yeah, same way
That
to
is
start
what-
the
okay.
plan.
Because some years back they used to have a line on the floor that they removed that. They still have it.
Line plus green light.
Because
line is not there.
2 years back when I went, that line wasn't there. You just had to look at, yeah, that
The
light.
line was 15 years ago.
15 years back then. Remember, before it used to be a line, it was very simple. But then light used to cause a lot of trouble, I think, because everyone would be looking at the line and pushing one another and sometimes stepping over and killing other people. So anyhow, to line up with Hajar al-Aswad, if you can get to it, that is the best. If you can't get to it because of the rush, it's not necessary to get to it and to touch it, but that's a sunnah. To go to the black stone, to face it, to do istilam. Istilam is sunnah, it's not wajib. It's sunnah of Allah. That you face Hajar al-Aswad, you touch it, and you kiss it. If you can kiss it with your own lips, is better. If you can't, you just touch it and you kiss your hands. If you cannot touch it from the distance, you just face to it, face your hands to it, that's not istilam. You face your hands to it because Rasulullah did that. Just face your hands and then you kiss your hands.
So we're facing the hand or facing the whole body?
You should face your whole body first, in the beginning.
Both hands.
Both hands. Both hands. Now, and most likely and almost certain, you will not be able to get to it because everybody's fighting to get to it.
Should we try or no?
You can try,
Not in the
but
state of Ihram because if there's too much oil.
when I went for Hajj, I forgot about trying. I didn't even think of
Brother,
that
can I
because
just
I
tell them
saw
a
it
little
was
bit here?
almost
Because
impossible.
one of our brother here is very strong, mashallah. He can run like 30 miles a day. His head was stuck in it. He said, I don't know how he took my head out. I'm talking about now, this month. So he put his head in there. He
What's
said,
the reason?
I don't know how I get out of
I'm
it.
telling
Even then he get back.
you know why people want to touch it? Because of the reward. Because when it comes in hadith, if you touch it, it's like you're making musafaha with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The one who makes istilam of the adab is like he's making musafaha with Allah's right hand. This is what the hadith said. Now, that's not only touching, that's istilam. So whether you touch it or you don't, you are making istilam, you are getting that reward. If you don't do istilam, you don't get the reward. But if you do istilam, then the first step is to kiss it. If not, then just touch and kiss. If not, then from a distance you face your hand to it and kiss it, and you have got the same reward. So what you're not pleasing Allah, but you're pleasing yourself by just trying to get to touch that stone. So if you cannot do it, You do Islam from a distance and you get all of that reward.
One thing, today we have technology, they are having very close of the supper. Now, if you have a very close snap, you touch with that and then do that, but no, it's
No,
not, right?
you don't get anything from that.
Right.
You get satisfaction of the self that mashallah I got to see it from a close-up, but
Okay,
there's
now
no reward.
you're saying plainly you don't get anything, but there are so many things like these things in practice of certain things, you know, where you do these things. Big alims do those things. Now, I don't know about this thing. People fight about, I think I heard people have injuries in going into that, you know. So, common sense dictates you don't jump over and do just because of, if you can, good. If you cannot, you can. Some people off the Hajj, you know, in other times, they can go where less rush, they have been able to touch it and do it. But again, coming to that point, like Noor, you know.
Yeah, basically what he was saying is what I just said, that we're doing all of that because we want the reward, we want to get the barakah. So by doing it from a distance, when you're not able to get to it, you get all of that barakah, you get all of that reward, you have made musafaha with Allah, everything is there. And it comes also that when a person, the first time he faces that Hajj al-Aswad to begin his tawaf, it comes that whatever is in your heart is remains in there. So if you have good in your heart, the heart is sealed. If you have evil in there, you have sins in there, that also seals inside. Therefore, it's recommended that before we enter into the haram in this journey, we make a lot of tawbah and istighfar. Actually, before even leaving our home from now, we should do a lot of tawbah, istighfar, and prepare ourselves. But when we reach the realms of Allah, we find ourselves pure, because we're meeting Allah. Now the tawaf, I think we're time up. I think it was going to take a lot of time.
Briefly करने बोलो next Saturday.
Next Saturday also.
So we have inshallah next Saturday, but
You will start again from the beginning,
We start our tawaf here. I don't know how we're going to finish the whole Hajj. So I think we have seen over here, if we get too much discussion, we will not accomplish, right? So the brothers, you know, for them, some of them, next week is their last week. If they don't get to finish those steps over here, it's going to be
Break it up
maybe
into,
a lot.
you should break it up into daily ta'lim. And then
But
get to that.
yeah, what I was going to say is these are the practical or the outward aspect of Hajj that what we're supposed to do, what we're supposed to do. But really this Hajj is a spiritual journey. So we really
शाह
need,
के बाद जो रहता है
yeah, we need to develop the spiritual aspect of this Hajj. So what I would suggest, either every day after Isha we have a little talk on this, but more than this, maybe it would be very good if you can read on your own. We have Fadail Sadaqat